Yeah, we can start.
Okay. Hey guys, first of all, we need to understand what stakeholder is. Let me introduce myself first, okay? Uh, my name is, of course, being introduced by Vijay. My name is Swapnil Agarwal. I won't take much time. I have 14 plus years of experience into business analysis and into trading. I am the only diploma into business analysis holder in India as of now. And yeah, as far as my qualification is concerned, I have completed my MBA from Australia and Bachelor of Computer Science from Symbiosis. I'm based out of Pune. Okay. Now let's have a quick round about why. First of all, the question is why stakeholder analysis and management, or what is stakeholder? We need to understand one thing. What every BA focus is, stakeholder is someone. Few layman even talks like stakeholder is someone who has stakes. I agree, that's truth, but that's not the only thing. So actually, it means anyone who has interested or maybe affected by the issue under consideration. Vijay, who's making those lines? Please, okay. Nitish
Yeah,
cannot hear my voice. Others, can you people hear my voice?
yeah, we can hear
Like,
your voice.
okay, so Nitish, there would be some problem at your end. Can I request you to, unplug and plug something, please? Okay, so I won't. I would go ahead. Yep. So anyone who's interested or maybe affected by the issue under consideration, which means anyone who may be affected by the project, you can type in a chat window to everyone or personally and let me know what is the generic categories of stakeholder you feel. I'll quickly. So stakeholder is anyone who would be affected by the project or who is interested in the project. So one of them would be customers. What more do you people feel? Vendors, yeah. Thanks, Sudhir. That's suppliers. Business owners, yes. Project managers, yeah, I'll code it to managers in generic. Absolutely, Mukesh. Product owners and managers, I would take it one, Nana. Investors, yes. Hardik. The end users, absolutely, yes. Department authorities. Sudesh, do you want to say regulatory bodies? Partners, yes. SMEs are employees, I would take. BAs are employees, Nana, again. Yep. So Santosh and Nana, it will be employees to club in. All members in the project, absolutely. Customers, can we go outside that? Like vendors was one of the supplier. Who's one major person because of which who would be interested, who may not impact your project, and also we are interested of what they are doing. Accordingly, we try to boost ourselves. Development team, testing are all employees. Yeah, employees, sponsors. Yep, competitors is what I'm talking about. We also need to, okay, we'll stop over here, we'll proceed now. Competitors are also something we need to take care of because they are very much interested to know what you are doing and accordingly they will react. They would work across, right? Same thing. We also need to take care what competitors are doing and suppliers, end users. Let's try to see. Now, before we proceed, why do we need to manage these people? So effective stakeholder management is very important for success of any project. Poor stakeholder management is one of the major reasons behind unsuccessful project. Why? Everything we talk about, use case, requirement gathering, everything is good, but if you're not able to manage your stakeholders, especially when we talk about management, we talk about internal stakeholders, that is business stakeholders, sponsors, domain experts, end users. If you're not able to manage them, your whole idea of the project fails, because if they are unhappy, the project fails. That would certainly not mean that we extend the scope of the project, but you need to manage them. You need to understand their needs, because need is a requirement, right? Identification and management of correct stakeholder is very important for the success of the project. The main responsibility of stakeholder management may rest with the project or with the senior BS. So these are the generic categories of stakeholders which we just discussed. Regulators, suppliers, partners, customers, competitors, owners, managers, employees, and others. Right? Okay. So these out of these, we, as I said, we manage the internal stakeholders. When now, before managing, what we need to do, we need to analyze them. How do you analyze them? First thing, practically try to understand. The project manager will let you know the list of stakeholders. This would certainly keep on changing depending on the size of the project, and you get to know the information. So from there, you talk to them, you analyze. Just asking my question. Okay. What aspects are to be considered? Yeah. So what aspects are to be considered? Certainly, we are going to talk about that, Rahul. That would be my next slide. Okay. I'll explain you with the examples. No stakeholders should be no stakeholders should be completely ignored. Using the power interest grid, it is important to plot where they are, not where they want to be, as it was just raised a question. We then explore strategies for managing them in their position or moving them to other position for the success of the project. Okay. So this was a question asked. First, you need to understand what is the interest of the stakeholder, what is the power of the stakeholder, and what's in. It's low, medium, or high in either case. So if you see the x-axis, what I have kept over here is the interest bar, and y-axis is a power bar, right? Let's try to understand. This is how it is. Let me take this with a very good example. We'll consider three departments of a bank: marketing, sales, and operations. I repeat, marketing, sales, and operation, and three types of positions: executive, manager, management, and senior management. Okay. Now, if there is a marketing executive, what would be his interest if he's directly getting impacted by the project? He would be the end user. What would be his interest in the project? Can anybody just type in? What would be the interest of? Hi, absolutely, Biswa, thank you. And what would be his power? What would be his power? Nobody? Marketing executive, Rahul. Moderate? Low? Low? Absolutely low. Yes, you guys are right. So try to understand, Aditya, why it's not moderate and low. Because marketing executive doesn't have any say. He's a low level guy who maybe a door-to-door marketing, or the end people who are impacted by the project, who are using it, right? So he is kept over here. Now let me just move one step to sales marketing before to sales department. Whenever the project is successful in the marketing, the sales target would eventually increase. So it would indirectly impact the sales department. So sales executive would also be somewhat interested to know what is going in marketing because he would be impacted. But again, he doesn't have any say, so his power is low. So low power, some interest. We keep them informed. What do you mean over here? When we say keep them informed, you go ahead and talk to them. You inform them about the major changes which gonna come in the project or what you're trying to build. These guys may have a say. Let's say I'm a BA and I decide, let's not talk about IT. I say, we are planning to put the big banners on the roads and all. These guys would be the one who say, boss, if you try to put, it would cost you like 2 lakh rupees monthly for one board. Who dares to look? Let's talk about city called Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai, any cities. Okay, how many people have time to look on the board and actually read and grasp the number or the website? Nobody. You're just wasting that money. Try to put that money on Facebook or digital marketing. And I would be like, yeah, but management never thought because they didn't even looked at that area because these guys day in day out interact with the customers. They know what the customers need and the psychological behavior of a customer. So they don't have say, but these are the right candidate to get a lot of information, so you keep them informed. Now you move to the now you move to the tellers. Okay, because marketing हो गया, then you done with the sales. अब tellers पे जब आप आ रहे हो, when you come to the teller department, they don't care in a way for this particular project, because they are like, how many customers I'm able to serve, I will serve. 8 hours, 9 hours, I'm gonna work. If the customer base increase, that's my management area, not my area, right? So you ignore them for now, but you plot them. Okay. Now same thing. I'll go a bit faster considering the time as well. Here comes the marketing manager, sales manager, and operation with high interest, some interest, and low interest. But their position is same. Now try to understand. Marketing department is directly impacted, sales is indirectly, and operations is indirectly, I would rather say. So keep on side. Keep on side doesn't mean you have to keep them side or dump them out. Keep on side means keep along with you on side, on the one maybe on left, one maybe on right, and take them along with you throughout the project, because these guys are the one who would be impacted, and they should be very much aware about what's going on, and they would be giving you and helping you throughout the project. Now, the project sponsor comes over here. In our case, it's a marketing head project sponsor. So high interest, high power. Of course, he is the one who has defined the project objective and all. So it's a constant active management. Certainly, he would want the project to be successful. As I said before, sales department is then impacted. So sales head comes into keep satisfied mode. So again, keep satisfied. Of course, their department would be impacted. Their sales target is going to increase. So he should be aware what is going around. Now come back to this is very, again, important point to understand. Now you would say here operation manager we include, but what about the operation head? Keep a watch. See, operation management have a lot of other things also to do. He'll be like, okay, 10 customers are increasing monthly. Okay, there's some background noise. Please mute it. Thank you. So 10 customers increasing, 20, 50, 100. He's like, it's not my area. My manager will take care. I have more other branches also to take care. Parking area, but in lagega, ya jo bhi lagega. We may need more systems. We may need more teller. My operation manager will take care. But keep a watch. Reason. Stakeholder position keep on changing on time. Promotion, demotions, lateral movement. What if the operation guy tomorrow move into sales or marketing? You never know. Leave that. Keep a watch again for another reason, because indirectly their department is going to be impacted. So call him for major meetings as optional. He may or may not come. He may send a manager. Why I've explained this graph? Because by hook or crook, if anytime you have been working as a B or any positions and you need to manage the stakeholder, this is always there in back of your mind. You guys will agree to that, but that we just don't put it on piece of paper. So now you don't have to share with your team, certainly, because if you share कि तुम किसको कितना ignore कर रहे, that's not gonna help you. That's gonna kill you in the in your project. But keep it to yourself, because it's gonna help you a lot, right? Okay. Now, as I said, stakeholders' position do not remain static. It keeps on changing through promotions, lateral movements, and all. Okay. Now, stakeholder analysis and reviewing management strategies should be an ongoing activity. Why? Because effective stakeholder management is the key to the success of the project. Sometimes you may also, I'll give you another example. This guy, marketing executive, one guy would be there from 10 years, 15 years. You may need to increase his position because he would have now become a subject matter expert. You may need to keep him over here or here as well, depending for the success of the project. The project management should be an ongoing project team, and project managers should be constantly looking out for the change in stakeholder position and reevaluate the strategies. Now, what strategies? You have to build up your own strategies, how you're going to interact with them. There's no particular tool for such strategies. Okay. Again, this grid for yourself, which is going to help you a lot. Okay. How? You put the name of the stakeholder, current power and influence from the previous grid, current interest, issues and interest you have, current attitude, desired support you are ready to give him, desired role, desired actions, messages you want to convey, and actions and communications you had with him. Now let's talk about attitude. Champion, supporter, neutral, critic, opponent, blocker. What does this mean? Champion. Champion is, okay, direct example, the sponsor would be a champion because he would want the project to be successful, and he will tell everyone, hey, you know what, please go ahead and help these people. They are going to come to you, take some information from you, and we want this project to be successful. Supporters are the people who would be very much interested in the project but may not actively promote it. Okay, that means whatever you ask me, I'll give you. uh, let's say again, In marketing team, they are giving you, sales manager would be like whatever you ask, they'll give you. They may not actively promote it. Okay. Next is neutral. Neutral is like touch me not plan. Boss, I'm coming. Operations executive, tell her, please, yeah, whatever you want, you just go ahead and do it. Don't bother me. I'm not bothering you. It's like a touch me not plan for me. Okay. Critics. They are not in favor, but not probably active. These are the people who will cry throughout their life. Let them be a CEO, let them be a sweeper, let them be a marketing head, let them be a millionaire or a bankrupt person. So kuch nahi hoga, and all those things. So these people would be like, you get AI, robotics, you do whatever, nothing is going to happen about my company. Opponent. I personally feel one of the example I would give, the people who are insecure about the job but they don't have any power come over here because they you work they work actively to disrupt, impede, or derail your project. They'll give you incorrect information. So let's say if you have to go from Pune to Mumbai, they will make you drag till Kashmir and come back to Mumbai. Reason? Because their understanding here, jitna late hoga, at least I'll stick in the office and look for the better job. Blocker will do whatever you want, whatever they could to block the project. They may have valid reasons also. Let's say, jo example हमने दिया, the operation head may have valid reason to block your project, but you need to understand, make them understand what is the importance and how it's going to help. Because every project has its pros and cons, which we do explain in business case document, the risk assessment, through risk assessment, impact assessment, that how you can overcome if he's trying to show any risk. Now, this is again, very important. Just you can type yes or no. Have you ever looked across social media like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Insta to anybody before you giving interview or you conducting interview or you want to meet someone? Have you ever come across, like, have you ever did personally? कोई तो हाँ लिख दो. Yes. Okay. Thanks, Viswa. I think only one, two. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No. Sudesh. Okay. Mm-hmm. Great. So I would say 25% yes. Uh-huh. Why do we do this? Yes, LinkedIn. Thanks, Nilima. Certainly, it helps. Why? It helps you to understand. It helps you to understand. Okay, Venkatesh and people who have not done it, you can take this um, as as a friendly say. I would rather say. Um, it will really help you to know who that person is, what is his interest, what kind of article blogs that person is writing, how much he's interested in few things. And trust me, you can even drag your interview a number of times by just talking. Let's say someone's talking more about nature, like, hey, when you go for the interview and if you see the person is nice, like, how are you today? So my answer would be, if I know if he's environmental friendly, I'll be like, yeah, I'm cool, the environment is really pleasant today. I will try to drag it somewhere to environment so that he feels, probably people are smarter, he would know I have learned about him, but they acknowledge it in a very positive way, that at least I have done my homework. Another way to understand your BAs, if you get to know about them, it's very nice in business. So social media offers the BA an additional resource to learn about stakeholders, to manage relationship with them. LinkedIn, of course, and Facebook, Twitter is a cost-effective way of communicating. Now there's lots more WhatsApp, Zoom, and other things. Okay, so everybody have the inbuilt as well. If you want to interact with Telegram, yeah, of course, Nana, it helps in getting good relationship. Absolutely, understanding the psyche of the person. Yes, bingo, Adya, right? It really helps you. And I I personally have read it and understood the person's interest, and I have talked to that person in a way, because psycho as a BA, we are front end. We really need to understand psychology. We need to understand the psychology of the person. Why? Again, coming back to you. So if the person is critic, opponent, or blocker, and if you know about that person, trust me, you can make him a champion or supporter if you are smart enough. बाकी सब बाजू में रह गया तुम्हारा टेक्निकल स्किल्स ये वो, but if you are very good in this, that's what management do, right? Management is trying to understand the humans. It's very difficult to understand humans. That's it. I would rather say. You may have a different perception, but yes. Now, what is this? When you're talking to stakeholders, everybody would be talking about what they are doing, how they are doing things, and blah blah blah. Few things are global consensus. You just have to say yes or no. Has it ever happened, okay, कि आपको पहले offer letter मिला, first you received offer letter and then you give interview? No, certainly, right? It's a very poor joke. Yeah. So yeah, but that's a fact. It's a global consensus, worldwide defined कि पहले आप interview दोगे, बाद में ही offer letter मिलेगा, right? So it's been defined. Then 100% consensus. 100% consensus is we all decide to have a meeting at 9:30 and everybody is there at 9:30 today. So that's 100% consensus. All the participants agree. So in stakeholder, बोलते हैं कि what we do is whenever we get a application for a credit card, we check with the credit history, the details, the salary slip, and blah blah, and then process. Everybody says yes, we do the same fashion. That's 100%. Consensus through accommodation. This is, I don't want to get into it, but then somewhat, Maharashtra would be closed and other states may not be closed, and there is a conflict and blah blah. Few people say we should open, so there is conflicts. People agree, people don't agree, agree, don't agree, but you have to come to one conclusion. It cannot be that in Pune one part of Pune is open and another is closed. No, definitely no. It is going to spread COVID like anything. It's not a hot topic, it's a serious topic, right? So where participants are conflicting viewpoints agree to compromise. Additional activities and modifications one may necessary in order to achieve the kindness. Consensus or compromise. That's how stakeholder management is very, very, very important. Yeah, a lot of other things which we need to understand in stakeholder management, like uh, there's a thing developed by Chickland called CATO. You can even, right now I'll just put it on Zoom. You may Google it because of the time constraint. I may not explain in detail. CATO and business activity model. Based on that, it clearly understands what are the basic activities, how every cat food, that's a perspective, every perspective, there are multiple perspectives to everything in a business. And for every perspective, you create a BAM, and how these BAMs and cat food helps you to form an organizational model through stakeholders' perspective. Why? Because when we are talking to stakeholders, जो भी अभी मैंने बोला, हमने इतना सब कुछ किया, we just analyzed. We analyze, we talk to the stakeholder, we use various requirement gathering techniques like interview, prototype, you might be document analysis, special purpose record, time and motion study, questionnaires, shadowing, kuch bhi bolo. So you understand the root cause of problem of the situation, and from there you build this CAT and BAM model, and from there you moved on to the gap analysis. Key, what is the organization again, and what it wants to achieve, and how you can overcome that gap. So that's how you have to link everything. So if you go in bits and pieces, it's very difficult. You have to link up everything. Okay. So we have just tried to understand very basics, the interest and the power of this stakeholder, the definitions, and every business should consider a different perspective. Each perspective should have a value and belief. I've limited myself to very much because so that we can have more question answer sessions or any concerns you have. Okay. So yeah, you can type in your questions if you want. Vijay, was it okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you. Any questions? Any questions from the participants?
No?
You can type or you can unmute and ask. Yeah.
Yeah, could you please go back to the previous slide? I wanted to read the second point.
Okay, which one? Sorry.
Yeah, the last one. The last.
This one? This one?
I meant second to last. The next. 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 Next.
That's the
This
end.
one, sorry.
Okay, let me go from start, okay? This is the start. Second,
Yeah.
third, fourth,
I meant the summary slide.
Okay, you want the summary slide? Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you.
You're most welcome.
Hey, hi, Swapnil. Shreyas here. I have a
Uh-huh.
question here. Usually, as we come across challenges, especially when we are dealing with critical stakeholders or who are sitting in the opposition for no reason, right? So, how we can turn the table and how we can, yeah, make them agree in the project, work around. In the environment
You're talking
as a be.
if they are not agreeing to particular facts or the requirement or something, right?
Yeah. It's not only requirement, even though if we have a better solutions, right? Like they don't really agree as per their
Agreed.
psychological behavior.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So like, how
first
can we
you
turn the table and how can we make them to sit on the champion side?
Okay. Yeah. So first, you need to understand the psychological behavior, as you rightly said, how much they are involved in the project, and why they are concerned. If they're politically saying no, hota kya hai, what happens? So sometimes it could be politically just because that person has said, "I would not agree to it." Second is they don't even know, but they just have to come out of it. Third, they may have valid reasons. So you put down why this thing is going to help them and how it's going to help them. You have to put it across. And if they are saying no, but there are other people who say yes, then you go across something called focus group. Okay. Now focus group has a funda. You don't mention it as workshop over there. You call limited number of people and ask them to come and discuss on that topic why you want. The advantage of focus group यहाँ पे ये है कि you don't have to give a solution to it. You just go ahead and discuss everything, and later if still don't agree, it's always like a it's a brahmastra, but not to be used always. It's like you get the project sponsor in between boss. They are not ready to agree, but this is what we want to do. This person is not agreeing to that fact. That's the worst case. Project sponsor would say, yeah, take those BA out. We don't need it because every time he's cribbing. So whenever I think we have to manage our own strategy, we have to convince that person. First, you need to understand why that person is unconvinced. If it's invalid, definitely you have to send them the email, clear email with the senior management, responsible accountable consultant and inform RASI metrics. If it's invalid, definitely you have to sideline him through project sponsor. Valid reasons, you have to focus and you have to give them the
Yeah,
reasons.
Swapnil. I
Does
think,
that
yeah,
help?
most of the things. Yeah, that's the, as you mentioned clearly, Brahmastra. That's the final stage. Yeah,
Yeah.
anyone can take it
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, thank you.
Was it Shreyas? Was it
Yes,
Shreyas?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
Okay. So next question is from Nilema as well. How to manage multiple stakeholders who are not responding in critical situation like major releases. Same. Nilema, I don't want to use the word like Brahmastra every time, but then yes. First of all, you have to send them the email, clear email with the senior management. Hey, you know what? We are about to come to the releases, and this person is supposed to respond to this, and person is supposed to respond in this. There's also something called in stakeholder management, responsible, accountable, consultant, and informed RASI metrics. If they are into that level, you have to tell them you are responsible for this. This is the metrics. Take it and give this information to me because we are dependent on you. Clearly mentioned in the email, we are dependent on you. Based on this, if you send, we can go ahead and work around. Reason is if you put this on papers, trust me, verbally वो लोग ignore कर देते हैं, but if you put it on papers, it's difficult for them to ignore and they will come and give you the solution. Nilima, I hope you have answered your question. Santosh, negative stakeholders are always there. But if you'd help them to understand the importance and how it's going to help them. A number of times I have also seen that BAs do get a confirmation from the sponsors that even if we are trying to automate these things, we are not going to chuck these employees because now every country has their regulations also. You cannot fire employees. Santosh, they feel they are going to be fired. So what you can do is you can always um, be nice to them and help them explain, hey, you know what? Nothing is going to happen to you. Trust me. And try to play some games, team management games with them. Maybe, keep clap on four, table of four, and all. So have them come out of their era. कि वो लोग क्या सोच रहे हैं. It works. It works because it has worked with me as well. And then help them explain how this project would be and tell them, trust me, guys, you support me. We have been indirectly, have to say, we have been informed that you're not going to be removed if that's a concern, but they would be put into a different position or their skills would be upskill. I normally say this way कि पहले हम बैलगाड़ी चलाते थे, उससे पहले हाथ से खेती करते थे. Now tractors and other machineries are used. So we have upgraded ourselves. Not that कि खेती बंद हो गई है. Correct, Santosh? Are there any other
Hello.
input
Yeah,
apart from?
yeah, Swapnil. Yeah. I got it. Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks, Santosh. Okay,
Swapnil,
Rahul.
Mukesh here.
Okay. Yes, Mukesh.
Yeah.
Rahul, I'll come back to you. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, I have a question over here. Like in the initial phase of the requirement gathering, we agreed that this certain requirement will be delivered. But when in the development phase, and the development team asked that this particular requirement cannot be developed or cannot be, we cannot achieve it. As a business analyst, we get back to the stakeholders and communicate the same. But here, where the conflict arises, that they want this should, that you have agreed in the initial phase that this will be delivered. So how this situation can be handled in the same manner, like can in such a situation?
Okay, first thing, initially you should not commit on everything could be delivered. You have to tell them कि we'll get back to you. अगर ऐसा situation है and let's say we phrase this question another way कि stakeholder बोल रहा है हमको we want this in any case and developer says technically this is not allowed. Can we use in that way? Can I use
Yeah.
such question? So such
Yeah.
questions you can have. Yeah. So it's also called as JAD sessions, joint application development sessions. Normally it's now done in Agile as well now. So you get the business and the developers together on board, and on that particular call, you host the call. You are responsible for this. These calls are not very frequent. You have to inform both of them. This is probably a one chance, especially to developer. This is the one chance you may explain to the business why it can't be done, and you talk to the business. Hey, you know what? We are really trying to get the technical team on board. I completely understand your concern. However, it would be great if we both try to explain them and we come up with some solution. Problem is because now we intermediator. We try to understand both the concern, but when they talk together, they may come with some possibly way out.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is done to JAR sessions only.
Okay. Got it.
Does
Because
that help?
yeah. Only the situation, as you said, that everything cannot be committed in the initial phase of the project. But as business analysts may not have enough technical knowledge in this term, and that's why it may he may have committed this. So that's why the question.
Exactly. So when you don't have knowledge, you actually don't commit. So BAs don't commit unless they have knowledge. We always take requirements. We say we'll get back to them. So I don't know whether you're aware. Before going ahead, we give the requirements to the technical team and check whether it's technical feasible. And we also give it to the tester where we check they're testable, and then only we agree with the business. Till then, we don't agree.
Okay.
We check the feasibility of the requirements. Yeah.
Thank you, Swapnil. This was
Most
helpful.
welcome. Thanks. Okay, so
Swapnil, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, this is Jaymon. I just wanted to ask you one doubt. So here, what if the business team is separate from the stakeholder who is directly communicating to us from the client side?
Okay, can you repeat your question? I think I missed everything.
So
Hello.
the business team who is responsible for the changes, who is directly involved in the in delivering things from their end, is different from the POC which they have kept in the US or anywhere.
No, then you don't, because then everything is changed. So everything is delivered to time. Now time would may would increase, and everything would change. The billing would increase. Everything would change. Okay, guys, we have less than 1 minute right now, which I think you should take the call now. Guys, any questions? I think we can further discuss. Vijay will tell you how. Vijay?
Yeah. Any questions? Like you can also mail us or put it in WhatsApp so that we can discuss those questions.
Yes, guys, I would be more than happy to answer. I'm extremely sorry about that's the reason, I try to limit my presentation.
Yeah, even Swapnil number also
more
is there. We can put it in WhatsApp also.
Yeah, please. I'll be more than happy. You can either contact Vijay or myself. We both will